Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely rewire how you think about AI. I know we are bombarded every single day with noise, panic, and so much hype, so we're just going to cut right through all of that to build a genuinely wholesome understanding. We'll explore what artificial intelligence actually is, what it absolutely is not, and why grasping this exact distinction is basically a superpower for navigating your future.
All right, let's dive right in by tossing out the most common, yet completely flawed, question people ask about artificial intelligence. You know the one: which is smarter, AI or humans? The second we ask this, we are setting ourselves up for failure. Intelligence isn't just one single vertical ladder that humans and machines are climbing together, fighting for the top rung. See, when you try to rank them, you inevitably fall into one of two traps. You either treat AI like a magic brain, some sci-fi entity plotting its own secret plans, or you go the other way and dismiss it entirely as just a glorified calculator. And honestly, both extremes completely miss the mark. The real goal here isn't to rank them on some imaginary leaderboard, but to understand the entirely distinct types of intelligence that each brings to the table.
Section 1, Redefining the AI Debate. Okay, I want you to picture a city skyline at night. A towering skyscraper and a coastal lighthouse can both shine brilliantly in the dark, right? But comparing them just by how bright they are is completely absurd. They are built for entirely different jobs. The skyscraper is built for massive scale, housing thousands of overlapping activities. The lighthouse, though, it provides steady, deliberate guidance to keep ships from crashing into the rocks. AI and humans are exactly like that. They both produce incredibly impressive results, but their strengths are powered by completely different underlying systems.
Section 2, patterns versus meaning.
At its very core, AI is simply a pattern engine. It doesn't wake up with goals or memories, fears, or a sense of self. It just processes massive amounts of input and flawlessly predicts what should come next based on historical data. It is incredibly powerful precisely because it compresses vast amounts of data into a prediction. Really, think of it like a highly advanced autocomplete on your smartphone. It doesn't actually know what you want to say or even what the words mean. It just knows mathematically what word usually comes next. Humans, on the flip side, are meaning makers. We're sort of like a master chef cooking without a rigid recipe. A great chef doesn't just mechanically combine ingredients based on some spreadsheet or algorithm. We taste, we add a little pinch of salt, we remember past meals, and we bring our own culture and personal values right into the cooking process. A human looks at the world and decides what matters, why it matters, and what should happen next, all based on our lived reality. And this brings us to one of the absolute most important truths of this entire explainer. AI has zero lived experience. AI can map a route up a mountain perfectly, but a map doesn't feel the blistering heat of the sun, or the deep fatigue in your legs, or the sudden panic of a falling rock. This is exactly why an AI can sound so incredibly confident, even when it's completely hallucinating facts. It's merely the map. You are the traveler, the one actually navigating the messy, physical consequences of the real world. Section 3, Estimation versus Judgment. So, where do these different systems actually win out? Well, AI absolutely dominates when the world looks like a repeatable pattern. Imagine a robotic arm flawlessly sorting thousands of items on a high-speed conveyor belt. It doesn't get bored, it definitely doesn't need a coffee break, and its consistency is just unmatched. But humans? We win when the world requires flexible adaptation and deep meaning. Think of a doctor in a chaotic emergency room. They aren't just looking at cold medical data, they're weighing urgency, they're reading the terrified faces of the family, and they are managing the extreme stress in that room. That is a highly nuanced situation, not just a data pattern. If you take a mental screenshot of anything today, make it this. This whole divide really boils down to a few core matchups. AI is incredibly effective at estimation, prediction, and operating at massive scale. Humans, however, hold the high ground in judgment, interpretation, and understanding context. Basically, AI can instantly estimate what is mathematically likely to happen, but human beings must step in to decide what is actually responsible and appropriate to do with that information. Sometimes AI looks smarter than us because it absolutely crushes us at games like chess, which have perfectly defined rules. But does that make it generally superior? Think about it this way. A fish is not inferior to a bird just because it can't fly. They simply operate in completely different mediums. Humans aren't inferior to AI just because a computer can crunch numbers faster.
Intelligence is a really broad, diverse toolbox, and we are simply optimized for playing entirely different games. Section 4. The smart art of delegation. Because estimation doesn't automatically equal the right answer, even when AI reaches near perfect accuracy, you remain the ultimate source of direction. Why? Well, because an AI cannot choose what goals actually matter to a business. It can't look at a piece of evidence and verify if it truly makes sense in the broader, messy context of society. And perhaps most importantly, an algorithm cannot absorb the consequences if things go terribly wrong. You cannot put a line of code in jail, and you certainly can't fire a chatbot. You are the safety net and you hold the steering wheel. So, how do we practically use this in our day-to-day lives? We apply the delegation test. Ask yourself, is this task mainly about recognizing patterns? Is the cost of a mistake low enough that we can tolerate a tiny bit of error? Can we easily check the output? Is the task highly repetitive? If you can answer yes to these questions, then absolutely delegate it to AI. But if the task requires deep trust, ethics, or high-stakes nuance, you absolutely must keep a human firmly in the loop.
Let's imagine a large company using AI for customer support. The AI is fantastic at handling the sheer volume of routine queries, instantly routing thousands of tickets, resetting passwords, summarizing histories. But when a loyal VIP customer is absolutely furious about a severe billing error that ruined a critical event, a human steps in. The AI doesn't feel bad. Only a human understands the nuance of tone, the delicate art of a genuine apology, and the necessary empathy and discretion required to actually repair that relationship.
Section 5. The future of human value.
AI is powerful in narrow, well-specified spaces. Humans are stronger in broad, messy, real-world situations. I really want you to internalize that. AI is not here to erase your value. Instead, it acts as a high-speed lens on a single slice of reality. By gladly handing over the repetitive, high-volume estimation work, it actually frees you up. It exposes and elevates the true center of the human role, your judgment, your problem-solving, and your ability to navigate our beautifully messy, unpredictable world. Now that you have this systems thinking lens, you can see clearly right past the daily hype and the fear. You understand that the future isn't about human replacement at all. It's about powerful coordination. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. As AI efficiently takes over handling all the patterns of the past, what new meaning will you choose to make for the future?